Are we on? Yes, we're on. Right. So today, bring up my script. I'm going to talk about vegan, vegetarian, and plant-based products in our home baking businesses. So, animal products that might be avoided for reasons of health, ethics, environment, religion, culture. In my case, I'll choose a vegan or a plant option from a menu just because I've got a few food sensitivities. They're all animal based and one of them's not in the top 14, so it's just easier for me. So it's not an uncommon request nowadays. The main complication for us as home bakers is definitions. The terms vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, none of them are legally defined in the UK. And to add to that, people's beliefs and their choices and understanding of those terms vary wildly. So, in terms of consumer law, we cannot mislead. So, if a product's labelled as vegan, it would be reasonable to expect that it contains no animal products at all. So, even though that term vegan's not regulated, we would still be expected to keep that product animal free as much as possible within our kitchens. It's currently legal for products labelled as vegan to be produced in the same areas as products containing animal ingredients. So please always carefully read allergen labels and everything. Don't ever assume that a vegan product is milk and egg free. As bizarre as that sounds, I'll drop you the link to the FSA page about that. So what I think we need to do as bakers in the very beginning is ask that customer what that term that they have used means to them. Because it might just be no meat or fish, or it might be made in a kitchen that doesn't use animal products at all, or doesn't use palm oil and is packaged without plastic from sustainable materials, I've got a diploma in vegan lifestyle and nutrition, and it isn't just about what you eat. It's a long list of ethical and environmental issues, beliefs and choices. Vegetarians, they generally still eat dairy and eggs and honey because they come from live animals, but those industries still kill animals. Not everyone knows all about that. We could talk for hours about ethical farming and palm oil production, but this isn't the time or place, right? Here I'm helping home bakery businesses with their businesses. So ingredients that we need to be aware of. In case you don't know, not all cheeses are vegetarian. Most of them are now, but there's an enzyme called rennet, often used traditionally, that it separates the curds and whey. Rennet comes from a cow's stomach. However, most of the soft cheeses, the modern ones that we use in sweet baking, doesn't contain it. If it does, it should say so on your packaging. Palm oil is a massive discussion in vegan and environmental circles. Yes, it does come from a plant, but its production destroys habitats, it pollutes, it erodes soil, therefore endangers animals. So a lot of people do avoid it. A lot of the products that we might use as bakers will have claims on the packaging of if they use palm oil, it's sustainable. Right, honey, not vegan. Marshmallows contain gelatin, usually from pork or beef bones. Although you can get vegetarian marshmallows, you can make your own. You can buy vegetarian gelatin. Shellac, it's a shiny confectioner's glaze. It's used on a lot of our sprinkles and on sweets, things like chocolate-coated coffee beans. I will let you know. I will let you research where that comes from yourself. Same with red colouring, E120, also called cochineal or carmine. Go and Google it, as long as you're not eating. They're not vegan. They are not vegan. So what can we use then as substitutes for our real butter and eggs? Firstly, when it comes to egg-free baking, having been egg-free myself for a long time, I've tried all sorts of recipes, all sorts of replacements. Chia seeds, flax, applesauce, powdered stuff that's full of additives. It's all pretty crap, to be honest. Find a well-reviewed vegan recipe and try that rather than just substituting eggs. I can very much vouch for Joshua John Russell's Red Velvet is vanilla and chocolate sponges. I will try and find the links to them and post them in the comments. Right. My personal recommendation for a butter substitute is Flora Plant, the block and the tub. Both are labelled as vegan and neither of them contain palm oil. The flavour is about as good as butter substitutes go, in my opinion. The block, it doesn't set as firm as real butter in buttercream, so it needs to be kept a bit cooler. You know, be wary of it in the summer. But in my opinion, it's the best current substitute in terms of flavour and texture for the real thing. Stork is the classic. Vitalite is really well recommended, you know, in the cake groups. Both of those are labelled vegan, and both of them say that the palm oil they use is sustainable. So we've got some easy to find options there. So read your labels really well and ask in the cake, like the cake groups on Facebook, what other people like to use, because I haven't tried everything on the market because I quite like the Flora. I know a few people have said they don't get on with it, especially since it's changed a little bit. But just, yeah, you've just got to try them out and see what works for you. Milk, any milk in any recipe can be replaced with any plant milk. I prefer to use oat milk because that it doesn't introduce an extra allergen like nuts, and it's a mild flavour as well. If you don't mind flavour changing a little bit, I've had some really lovely results with coconut milk and almond milk in cakes. I find soya is a little bit too overpowering, especially if there's a lot of it in recipe. If you need to use buttermilk, just add lemon juice to your plant milk. And there are some really nice plant-based creams, yogurts, custard substitutes in all supermarkets now. They've all, even smaller ones, seem to have a dairy-free section. So my advice then, when presented with a request for something that's vegan or vegetarian or plant-based, first and foremost, ask that customer what that term means to them. Do explain that you use animal products in your kitchen, just so they can make an informed choice then. And as always, consider your cross-contact risks. Clean down fully before you begin, as you should do anyway, before, you know, when you're baking in a home kitchen. If you've got eggs and dairy to use during your same baking day, just get your plant-based bakes out of the way first before making your other stuff. It's just polite, you know, if you're calling something plant-based, just reduce that cross-contact risk as much as it's possible. I'm going to post a load of links to this. Have a look through them just to back up what I've said here with some official sources, the FSA, Trading Standards and Vegan Society. And yeah, happy baking.